Have you ever bought a car filled with engine and transmission issues that cost a fortune to repair? These are cars that not only make your driving experience frustrating, but also drain your wallet at the same time. So, if you don't want to burn thousands on repairs or end up stranded, pay close attention because these are the worst cars money can buy. The first vehicle on our list is the Nissan Rogue. While it might look like a decent SUV, this vehicle comes with countless issues with an expiration date set before 60,000 miles. First, let's talk about the engine. Nissan gave the Rogue a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with variable compression technology. This engine has been known to come with link damage and internal bearing. This leads to problems like strange knocking sounds and power loss. And in the worst cases, the whole thing dying. The problem is so bad that the NHTSA is already investigating the issue, since hundreds of thousands of these SUVs might be affected. And if that wasn't enough, there's another major problem: the CVT transmission. Nissan's Jatco CVTs are notorious for failing early. And when they do, you can't just fix them. Instead, you'll have to replace the entire thing, which can cost a fortune. And even though Nissan has been facing complaints and lawsuits over this issue, they still slap the same fragile transmission into new models, hoping buyers won't notice. But now you know the truth. Be sure to stay away from these models unless you enjoy throwing money into a black hole. So, if you plan on leasing the Rogue for a few years, you might be fine. But if you're looking for something reliable that will last, this SUV could end up being a nightmare. In the number 8 spot is the Infiniti QX50. This model might look nice, but it's basically a Nissan Rogue in disguise. It runs on the same 2.0-liter turbo engine with the same variable compression tech that sounds cool but causes trouble over time. And to make things worse, it comes with the same CVT transmission that's known for breaking down. So if you're planning to keep this car for years, think twice because it's not built to last. And it's not just the QX50. The same engine and transmission are also in the Nissan Altima, which means the problem isn't going away anytime soon. Next up is the Ford Bronco Sport. Its EcoBoost engines have had problems for years, and the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder in the Bronco Sport is no different. One of the biggest issues is a recall for cracked fuel injectors that could cause engine fires. But it doesn't stop there. This engine overheats, the turbo fails, the cooling system leaks, and the head gasket can blow. Small 3-cylinder engines like this are pushed to their limits, and over time, they just don't hold up well. Ford has already replaced a bunch of these engines under warranty, which is a huge red flag if you plan on keeping this car for years. If you love the Bronco Sport, leasing might be a good option, but buying one is not a good idea unless you want to deal with expensive repairs. At number 7 is the Chrysler Pacifica. The Chrysler Pacifica Plug-In Hybrid might seem like the perfect family-friendly minivan, but don't let the sleek design and hybrid badge fool you. This thing is a disaster on wheels. First, the Pacifica Plug-In Hybrid has been hit with tons of recalls. Owners have reported complete power loss while driving, leaving them stranded in the middle of traffic with no warning. The hybrid system is notorious for shutting down randomly, sometimes failing to restart even after multiple attempts. And if that's not bad enough, the battery pack has been linked to potential fire hazards, forcing Chrysler to tell some owners not to charge their vehicles indoors due to the risk of them catching fire. Even Chrysler's own technicians struggle to diagnose the problems, with some repairs taking weeks or even months. Owners have been left with expensive rental cars or, in some cases, a completely useless vehicle sitting at the dealership with no estimated fix date. And because many issues are software-related, updates sometimes create new problems instead of solving old ones. To make matters worse, Consumer Reports recently named the Pacifica Plug-In Hybrid one of the least reliable cars on the road. Multiple surveys have shown that Pacifica owners experience more issues than almost any other minivan, with problems ranging from battery failures and transmission issues to charging system malfunctions and faulty electronics. So, if you're looking for a reliable family minivan that won't leave you stranded or frustrated, stay far away from this vehicle. At number 6 is the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe and the Jeep Wrangler 4xe. These plug-in hybrids were supposed to be the future of Jeep, with more power, better efficiency, and off-road capability without guzzling gas like a V8. But in reality, they're nothing but a disaster. First off, these things have been recalled over and over to the point where owners have completely lost faith in them. The biggest problem is that the engine can randomly shut off while you're driving. No warning, no safety net. Just pure chaos. And if you think that's bad, it gets worse. To add to the list, the hybrid battery can catch fire. Jeep even warned owners not to park these things inside their garages because they could burn their house down. But that's not the only problem. The drivetrain is weak and is known to break under pressure. And the electronics don't get better. Screens freeze and sensors fail. And mechanics struggle to diagnose anything because Jeep's software is a glitchy mess. And the biggest concern is that the fuel savings are barely worth it. In cold weather, the battery efficiency drops like a rock, forcing the gas engine to take over most of the time. So you're paying extra for a hybrid system that barely works, only to end up with the same fuel economy as a regular gas-powered SUV. So if you are still a fan, lease it. But for long-term use, stay away. At number 5 is the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra. For decades, the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra were the kings of full-size pickups. They were rugged, dependable, and built to conquer anything. They tried to improve, but ended up ruining their own trucks. General Motors introduced a fuel-saving system called Active Fuel Management, or Dynamic Fuel Management. The idea was that the engine would shut off certain cylinders when they weren't needed, which sounds like it should improve fuel economy. But in reality, it was a nightmare. The lifters, which are small parts responsible for opening and closing the engine valves, kept failing. At first, drivers noticed a ticking or knocking noise coming from the engine. Then, it got worse. Some engines started misfiring and others lost power entirely. In the worst cases, they just died on the spot. If this happens to you, get ready to spend thousands of dollars for a full engine replacement. And the worst part is that even after fixing it, the problem might come back. This issue isn't just some minor inconvenience. General Motors is facing lawsuits from angry owners who've had to replace their engines way too soon. It's not just the Silverado and Sierra either. If you drive a Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, or Escalade, you're in the danger zone too. Even if your engine somehow survives, there's another issue waiting for you. GM's 8-speed and 10-speed automatic transmissions. Owners have reported violent shaking and rough shifting. It's like the truck is having a seizure every time you accelerate. To be fair, all full-size trucks have problems. Ford's EcoBoost engines have turbo issues, and Ram's Hemi V8 has lifter and transmission problems. But GM's issues stand out because they're so common and so expensive to fix. If you're looking for a truck that will last, the Silverado and Sierra might not be the best choice. Sitting at the 4th spot is the Land Rover Range Rover. The Range Rover is one of the most stylish and capable SUVs on the market. It screams luxury, turns heads wherever it goes, and makes you feel like a king behind the wheel. Its off-road abilities are unmatched, and it effortlessly tackles rough terrains, deep snow, and muddy trails like a beast. But before you get too excited, let me warn you. This beauty comes with its fair share of issues. If you plan to keep a Range Rover for more than a few years, get ready for a financial and emotional roller coaster. This SUV has one of the worst reliability records in the industry, and maintaining it can drain your bank account faster than a Las Vegas casino. Let's start with its unreliable engine. Owners have reported random engine failures, overheating issues, and excessive oil consumption. Imagine cruising down the highway and out of nowhere, your engine gives up, leaving you stranded. Next is its weak transmission. The transmission is supposed to be smooth, but with a Range Rover, it's the opposite. Shifting problems, sudden jerks, and complete transmission failures are common. Problematic air suspension. One of the biggest selling points of the Range Rover is its ultra-smooth air suspension, but it breaks down all the time, and when it does, repairs can cost several $1,000s. Glitchy electronics. The infotainment system freezes, sensors stop working, and random warning lights turn your dashboard into a Christmas tree. Some owners report their backup cameras malfunctioning at the worst possible moments. Leaking sunroofs and water damage. Believe it or not, many Range Rovers suffer from poorly sealed sunroofs that allow water to seep in, leading to mold, rust, and electrical failures inside the cabin. So if you think buying a used Range Rover is a smart move, think again. Repairs are extremely expensive. The combination of unreliable parts, high repair costs, and constant electronic failures makes it a nightmare for long-term ownership. At number 3, we've got the Jaguar F-Pace. This luxury SUV looks like $1,000,000, but drives straight into a world of problems. It's stylish, packed with tech, and delivers a sleek European feel just like a Range Rover. But here's the truth. Once that new car smell fades, you're left with a vehicle plagued with countless issues. Starting with the engine troubles. Oil and coolant leaks plague this SUV, leading to overheating that can kill your engine. One day you're cruising, the next you're stranded on the side of the road. Next is its transmission problems. Shifting gears feels clunky, unresponsive, and sometimes the transmission just quits on you. And worse, fixing it will drain your wallet. Fuel system failures. You pay for premium gas, but the F-Pace struggles to use it properly. This leads to poor efficiency, misfires, and unexpected breakdowns. And the electronics don't make it better. Sensors are unresponsive and glitchy. Warning lights are always on. And getting it all fixed is a financial nightmare. BMWs, Audis, and Mercedes all have their fair share of problems, but Jaguars are extremely overwhelming. Keeping one after the warranty expires is like signing up for endless frustration. But if you're set on owning one, do yourself a favor and lease it. Enjoy it for a few years and ditch it before the issues start piling up. On the second spot on our list is the Volkswagen Taos. At first glance, the Volkswagen Taos looks like a solid SUV. But don't let the clean design fool you, this vehicle is a financial nightmare in disguise. Under the hood sits a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine that sounds impressive, but in reality comes with countless issues. Fuel system failures, oil leaks, and full-blown engine breakdowns are just some of the problems to mention. But it doesn't stop there. The all-wheel drive version comes with Volkswagen's DSG transmission. This gearbox shifts fast but is jerky, unreliable, and extremely expensive to fix. And then there's the fact that the Taos is already plagued with infotainment glitches, flickering lights, and random electrical failures. The second your warranty expires, these problems will start draining your bank account. So the bottom line is, if you have to own one, lease it, because owning this thing long-term will turn out to be a costly mistake. At the number 1 spot, we have any Hyundai or Kia with the 2.0-liter or 2.4-liter 4-cylinder Theta engine. And trust me, the 2.4-liter isn't any better. If you've ever heard of an engine that could randomly shut down or catch fire, this is the one. For over a decade, Hyundai and Kia have been churning out some of the most problematic engines on the market. We're talking about cars like the Kona, Sportage, Soul, Forte, and Elantra, all plagued with high oil consumption, knocking noises, and engine failure. And when they fail, they don't just stop. They can explode into flames. Since 2011, over 10 million cars have been recalled because of these issues, and the fixes are barely working. Even the newer models are breaking down too, leaving owners stuck with blown engines, endless repair bills, and a non-stop nightmare. So, if you're thinking about buying any one of these cars, you might want to think again. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos here.